Have you ever thought just how boring or ridiculous news commentary is today? Welcome to the Real Jacks Podcast with Jim and Larry. The Real Jacks Podcast. From crime and politics to entertainment, you can expect something different. Now, let's get real, Jacks.
Real Jacks with Jim and Larry is brought to you by
Extreme Wings, 4 convenient locations, family sports restaurant and grill, more than just wings. Tremendous Barbecue, open since 2007, 8927 Hurlong Road, open 11 to 8, Tuesday through Saturday, and Sunday 11 to 3. Full barbecue menu, everything homemade, they cater anything, and they love first responders. Advanced Window Tint, 5024 Sunbeam Road, over 26 years experience. 3M Platinum Dealer, highest level of 3M dealer around. They tint vehicles, homes, and businesses. Secure One Protection Services, number one choice for protection since 1986. 356-1111. D-Way Towing, 100 South Jackson Avenue. Phone number is 904-356-3929. They take care of all your towing needs. See our friend Doug Dixon. Wild West Guns and Gold, family owned and operated for over 30 years. Stop in and visit them and their professional staff for all your hunting and shooting sports equipment. They have great customer service with competitive prices. Remember, Wild West Guns and Gold, our friends at Wild West. Vic Gibran, he's a good friend and great business owner and looks out for folks on the Westside. They're on Lane Avenue. Go see him. Norman Brewer for Jacksonville District 11 City Council. We need fighters that will truly represent us on the city council. Norman Brewer is that guy. He's a constitutional conservative, former law enforcement officer, successful businessman. Norm will call it like he sees it, and you will have no better advocate on the council.
Hey, back with the Real Jacks with Jim, Larry, and Crawfish and Scotty Baldwin. Larry, take it away.
Yeah, so we talked about Scott's history and then how Choir Boys Cutlery came along, and then story time with Scab. So we're just going to get right into some stories today. I enjoy them all. I'll lay in bed watching TV and sometimes mute the TV or just pause the Netflix or whatever just to hear a good story.
Well, I appreciate that.
So I don't know if you realize that was probably one of your callings to be a storyteller. I don't know. Have you always been a storyteller? Because
No, I
mean, a liar, a bullshitter.
Yeah, a lot more bullshit than storytelling.
So, yeah.
Maybe one and the same.
Yeah. So it just developed from there. So one of the ones is, you obviously had some wild friends. A couple of them I wanted to fight myself. Matthew, that boy drove me. I remember going to a call up at where it looked like somebody had slaughtered a pig in the bathroom. He jumped on some boy in the bathroom and unnecessarily whooped his ass a little more than he probably should have.
That's the guy that looked like Mask, that movie Mask.
Yeah, the guy was kind of muscular, but the guy. I think the guy was. It didn't do him. But the guy was. He was, but the problem was the guy had his Johnson in his hand. He was taking a pee in the urinal when Matthew hit him the first time. So
that'll get you.
That doesn't help. So you kind of rung his bell from anyway. But Matthew was always entertaining. His brother worked with us in JSO. Is a good guy, Sean Halliday. Well, Matthew was always a wildcat, and always those guys worked out together. Was it Gold's Gym? World's Gym right there, Lane in Normandy. So they were always into something. And if you got up this box seats and there's a group of them, you're like, yeah, something will probably happen tonight. But like his friends and my friends, it wasn't always fighting, and sometimes they would just do wild stuff, fun stuff, and I don't know. It just tickles you to hear the stories of grown men acting like kids and usually get hurting themselves in the process. Well, this one was the one he talks about Matthew and the slip and slide. So I'm going to let Scab tell that story because it's a good one.
All right. So
and it's funny. Just when he does the voices, it always makes me laugh. But go ahead.
I met Matthew, I think he was 19. Now, he run around with Willie. He worked for Willie.
Evans. Yeah, okay.
Evans Concrete. He worked for Willie, and we just became fast friends. I think I'm 10 years older than Matt.
Yeah.
So through the whole process of working out, hanging out, being boys, doing all that, Matthew moved in with me. So he comes in, and Matthew was a big guy. He really was. He didn't weigh, I was about 210, 215, but he was jacked, and he worked out hard, and he played hard, and he did all that. Well, one day, I get off work, and we've always worked different places, and I get off work, and I come home, and there's a slip and slide in the box in the living room. So I thought, so Matt comes out the back. I said, Matthew, what's that? He says, slip and slide, Scabo. I thought you would know that. I said, well,
The voice.
I said, I know what it is, Matt. What is it doing here? I said, and now my son is 10 years older or 10 years younger than Matthew,
Right.
and was coming in. So I thought maybe Matt got it for Hunter.
Right.
He said, well, it's hot, and we need to be refreshed. I said, so you got a slip and slide? I said, Matthew, he said, just you're negative. You're always negative, Scab. You're always negative. Tomorrow morning we're going to set it up. We're going to be refreshed. I said, all right. All right. So I get up early the next morning, and I go out back. Now, I was out there off Imison Road. I lived there's 3 houses or however many houses by the bike trail on Imison Road, right? We've always lived there. The Baldwins had that up until they made the bike trip. So in the backyard, we kind of had a hill. Not a big one, just a little incline. So I put the slip and slide kind of going up, and it had like, how they do the splashy thing at the end. But I did that.
So it decelerated in.
So it decelerated.
Right.
So I go over, and we just had some kind of hose that was probably older than either one of us. And it's knotted and it's kinked, but I turn on the water, and water goes everywhere except the slip and slide. Right? And I walked there and looked. Well, as I'm trying to get the kinks out, Matthew comes out the back door. And he never wore shorts. I never seen Matthew in a pair of shorts in my life.
Was he in jeans?
Jeans or those like sleep pants. Well, he comes out the back door, and he was bald-headed, had on sunglasses, no shirt. He said, I'm going to show you how to do this right here, boy. So he takes off running. And he got airbound. I turned around and said, there's no water on the slip and slide, Matthew. And this was about 10 in the morning. The sun had been up.
Yeah.
And I swear, he kind of mid-flight, he said, huh? When he hit, it was like a U. His heels hit the back of his head. And I kicked the hose last time, and water come on him, and he's just laying there, had them sunglasses on.
Crooked probably hanging off his head.
I said, you all right, Matthew? No. You did that on purpose. I said, we got a shitty hose, Matthew. There ain't nothing. So he gets up. He said, I'll be right back. I said, well, it's working. I'll be back. So he comes back in about an hour, and he's got probably 10 bottles of Dawn detergent. I said, Matthew, and a new hose. I said, you don't, he said, you're just negative, Scab. And it's in the wrong spot. That's probably what, I said, no, what happened is there's no water on it, and you stuck. That's what happened, Matt.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say, I said, you do what so he moved it going down the hill. I said, I'm going to go so I'm inside doing laundry, and I see he's out there bopping around, and he used every bottle.
Oh, my goodness.
And turns the water on, and he said, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
And I hear this god-awful scream. So I go out the back door. I don't see Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking around. Now, the house we were living in had been my grandparents, and when you come out the back door, there's woods behind us, woods to the right. But my grandfather had dug it was basically a sewage trench runoff ditch. So I look over there in the briars and the brambles and the weeds. I see an arm and a leg come up.
He launched.
Like a rail gun. 250-pound man on a slip and slide with Dawn this
going downhill. I said, are you refreshed? Kiss my ass, Scabbo. I don't know why I said, we didn't get it, Matthew. You got it.
Moved it off the deceleration trail.
And he busted his
onto
ass.
the rail.
I'll tell you right now, yeah.
Eat him up?
It looked like a Christmas Vacation when they go down that hill.
Yeah.
That's the way Matthew looked.
Yeah.
In jeans, no shirt, sunglasses, right off the end. And them sunglasses were $5. And they were the old Oakley style.
Yeah,
they were style. I say style, but they were $5.
Right.
We worked at Jackrabbits one night. We're working, right? And it was always an experience.
Oh, I'm sure.
So we come out of Jackrabbits, and it was one of them death metal bands, or it was just something god-awful.
Heads hurting, ears ringing. Yeah.
Rob French used to do the sound there.
Oh, yeah.
So we're basically sitting there like this the whole night. So we come out, and Matthew had a car called Tinkerbell. It was I think he paid $200 for the car.
Good.
Maybe. Now he had a nice truck, but Tinkerbell, he drove for bouncing or work or whatever.
Yeah.
So we come out, and he starts going nuts. He's going crazy. I said, man, what's wrong with you? Somebody cut my shit, boy. I said, what? Somebody just stole. He kept his sunglasses on the dashboard.
Of Tinkerbell.
Of Tinkerbell.
The $5 sunglasses.
$5 sunglasses, right? They were gone. So we go over there. He had three things. He had a cup of change, I think an Enya CD that he loved.
Who?
Enya. Matthew loved Enya.
Who the hell is that?
It's some European band from like Swedish or something like that. Yeah,
like playing the pan flute or something.
And it's kind of like
It's that real soft.
Yeah, it's.
I never would have guessed that, but
I
okay.
loved it.
Nobody from the West Side listens to Enya, obviously, except that one guy.
Matthew.
Except Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew.
Yeah, nobody.
That's outstanding.
So he's just, and I said, Matt, dude, well, I look behind him, there's a van, right? And there's old boy sitting there with his sunglasses on. And he said, we're going to find out. I said, this is the guy behind you, Matthew. Huh? I said, he's right behind you. So he looks over, and the guys are mad, and he had other CDs, so they're throwing the CDs. They didn't get nothing. Matthew left his car unlocked on purpose, right? Mm-hmm. So nobody break in the car.
Right, so nobody tear the windows up.
So I'm saying to him, Matt, I'll give you $20, it'll cover. Hey, we going to get... So he jumps in the van, and for dramatic effect, locks the door.
With them in it.
The problem is, I can't get in.
Yeah.
Right?
He's in there with two of them.
He's in there with two of them. So I'm walking over there, and he hit the driver first, and I'm telling you, I thought he murdered the guy. Mm-hmm. Right? Guy just goes over the steering wheel. It's probably self-preservation.
Yeah.
Matthew hits him. The guy on the passenger side with the sunglasses takes off to the back of the truck. I'm trying to get in, but I'm trying to be casual about it because people are coming out of the bar, and I didn't want them to see the murder that was taking place inside the van. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. As the guy goes over the back seat, Matt grabs his leg and snatches it, and it comes off.
The leg comes off.
The leg comes off. It's a prosthetic leg.
Oh, my God.
And Matthew looks at me. He said, huh? I said, just come on. The guy in the back seat, I hear him say it. He said, yeah, I'm handicapped. Now what, mother? And Matthew hit him with that leg.
Starts beating him with his
leg.
With his own leg.
With his own leg.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to be casual. Old boy up front was playing possum. He comes out the side door by me, and he hollers, I'm going to go for help. Well, he didn't make it, right? Okay. He didn't make help.
I understand.
So I finally get the back door open because I hit the button, get the back door open. By the time Matthew comes out, got his sunglasses on, got his cup of change.
To get his in your CD?
Get his in your CD. All right. We hop in Tinkerbell. Before we hop in Tinkerbell, we're going back across the street. Matthew takes a leg and throws it in the street. I said, what'd you do that for? He ain't going to chase us, boy.
He wasn't going to anyway.
Backs up, back there the leg, and we took off into the night. Yeah. That was Matthew right there.
Oh, my goodness.
In a nutshell.
Uh-oh. Oh,
that's it.
That's in you.
Okay. He probably needed to hear that. That's probably calmed him down.
Don't play this much longer. We have to pay royalties here. Listen.
Yeah, be careful with your...
Oh, I remember that
song.
That's like in the movies. That's hilarious.
So Matthew, listen to this.
Yeah.
So clearly Matthew had a real soft side to him.
Yeah.
That most people didn't.
Just that one thing, though, right? I mean,
he liked Lifetime.
And he loved his in your CD.
He did like Lifetime movies.
I swear to you.
Lifetime movies.
When I would come home at night and Matthew would be in the recliner watching a Lifetime movie, and he would go to Sam's and buy those, those Hershey's pies you get from Burger King.
Yeah.
He'd buy a whole Hershey's pie. And he'd have a piece of pie, a glass of milk, and watch Lifetime movies.
Interesting guy.
Yeah.
And so where's Matthew these days? So he's passed away.
Matthew left us in 2018.
He was working in North Dakota on the oil rigs.
Did he have an accident?
No.
I had a heart attack.
Yeah, heart attack. Yeah,
he was young. But the truth is, like Larry said, a lot of us we had fun. We lived hard and it caught him. You know, he would honestly. Matthew was a great guy. If he liked you,
let's see if you're friends with him. Yeah.
Yeah. If he didn't.
Yeah.
But the thing with Matt was simply this: you knew where you stood.
Yeah.
If you loved him, you loved him. If you hated him, you hated him.
Or if he
those guys in that time, the working out stuff, they got into stuff that assisted the working out lifestyle, and
gotcha.
it
made him a little more angry than they.
Yeah, and then later on you find out it has detrimental effects on your your health system too.
Yeah.
So it caught up with him.
That
and the wildlife.
Well, he'd been in North Dakota, I think, in Williston, something like that.
Yep.
He had worked up there several years.
Yeah.
He had drove a truck.
Yep.
And then worked on the oil rigs.
He started here driving a truck, and then the boom happened. Up in the Dakotas. You remember a few years ago,
everybody was heading up there to get work. Yeah,
and they were
paying good money.
Good money, really good money. I mean, you lived in man camps, there wasn't shit to do.
Well, he told me.
Yeah, look at other dudes that looked as bad as you do. I mean, that's really all you could do. And they had like one bar, and people go in there and get drunk, and probably fighting or whatever, and play video games. I'm sure that was about it.
And that was the daily routine.
Yeah, work out and drive a truck. There wasn't much to life up there, but you were putting money away. That was kind of the point of it. The other story was the box seat. So the box seat's wrestling. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's do it.
Well, you know about the wrestling, right?
I never went.
Really?
Listen, I had to wear a uniform, Scab, and there's plenty of times, and I can tell a story. I'll tell one of the stories when me and Will were up there and Corey was up there working. But there's times where you just like, well, I'm not showing up tonight. I'm not eating there when I'm on duty. I'm not going there when I'm off duty. And that was one of those nights when they had wrestling in the parking lot at box seats on Blaney Boulevard, but I'm going to let Scab take it from there.
We had a manager named Scotty Bickley, and Scotty was a great dude.
Yeah.
He really was. He was supposed to be a bouncer. He was not a bouncer.
Is this like they would throw mats out in the parking lot?
No.
This
was a ring.
Tell the whole story.
Well, here's the whole thing about it. They come out, Scotty Bickley was a part of a local wrestling thing, and he worked at box seats. So he got box seats to host the wrestling event. Right, and it was an amateur thing or whatever. So the plan was for Scotty to jump off the roof of box seats and hit another wrestler. This was going to be his big heel turn, as they called it. He was going from a good guy manager to a bad guy man, right? So we had to hear about it for 2 weeks of how they were going to do this. Now, the only thing he had to do was take a chair by the sides, a steel chair by the sides like this, step off the roof, bump the guy, get rid of the chair, and that's it. Because the roof's, 6-7 feet maybe?
Yeah.
So a quick drop. No biggie.
Into the ring on a canvas.
Into the ring, rolls out,
yeah.
the guy loses
Flat
or whatever.
Part, bump him.
Gone.
Yeah.
Easy breezy. The problem with box seats and wrestling night was this. The girls hated it because we were a bar, right? But when you get a wrestling crowd, a lot of times it's families and things like that. So we get there early, and I'm standing on the deck really, and I see a young lady get out, and she's got her brother, and her brother's friend. Now her brother and her brother's friends were special needs, right? So as they come walking up, I said, "Boys, we gonna have a problem tonight?" And the sister, "Well, they're special." I said, "Honey, I know they're special needs. Y'all come up here all the time. I'm just aggravating them. Just playing with them." And they're picking at each other, right? The two guys are picking at each other the entire time, right? So I get them seated. They get there 2-3 hours early. And this is Jacksonville in the summer.
Sitting in the parking lot.
Sitting in the parking lot, man.
No air moving.
None. In the sun, on the deck. I get them seated, got them some tea, got everything situated. Don't know where Hoda's at. Don't know where
people
Scotty's
drinking.
at.
This is the people drinking too.
Yeah.
Some,
right, okay.
yeah, some. But now on wrestling nights, it was basically a couple pitchers of tea, and they wanted to see the event, right? So I go inside and I'm looking for Scott Bahoda. Can't find him nowhere. Now at this time, Scotty Bickley's on the roof, and I find out later that Hoda's up there with him. Let's say doing shots of Red Bull, getting amped up for the big match that's coming.
Coaching him, mentoring
him, getting him into space, getting him hyped up, right? So I walk in and I'm getting things situated. Well, the sister comes in and says they're fighting on the deck. So I freak out thinking a couple of rednecks are out there fighting with them boys out there because they were good boys. I'd say they were 18, 20 years old.
Right.
They loved wrestling, dressed in the whole. Well, it was the boys fighting.
Each other.
Okay. Over their favorite wrestler.
Right.
So I get them up. I said, "Guys, you got to cut it out now. You got to cut. Let's go inside. We'll get." So the sister starts in again about them being special. And I said, sweetheart, it's fine. They're boys. It's no harm, no foul. Nobody's upset. By that time, Larry, I saw a sheet of white. I'm like, and I realized I just got hit in the back of the head. So again, I'm thinking it's one of these rednecks thinking I'm messing with these kids. I turn around and it's just the two boys standing there looking at me.
One of them hit you.
I said, which one? And he
pointed like that.
I said, buddy, he said, well, he just made me so mad, I just closed my eyes and swung. Well, as he said that, Hoda comes from around the corner and says, son, when you're fighting somebody, you got to keep your eyes open. So he takes the boys over and giving them fighting tips, right?
After you got hit.
After I got hit. So I got a headache. It's about time to start the show. I'll walk over there by Hoda, and Hoda goes, I got him ready. He knows what to do. I said, the boys? He said, no, Bickley. I said, what would you know about wrestling? I said, all he's got to do is drop off the thing, drop off the ring, bump the guy, roll. I said, we've discussed this. He's going to roll behind us. We're going to get him out of there. He goes, well, that looks fake. I said, wrestling is fake, Scott.
Yes, we're talking wrestling here, man.
He said, well, we changed it up a little bit. I look up, and there's a picture of this. There's a picture somewhere in Duval County of Scotty Bickley coming off the roof of box seats with the chair, not by the seat, but by the feet, over his head. And when he hits this dude, Larry, and the dude was about 450 pounds in a leopard print leotard, I swear to you, a golf ball size egg comes up on this dude's head. He turned around and the referee tried to catch him. They both go down, right? I look over, Scotty's leaving. Bahoda's leaving. Bahoda's left.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Bickley comes over there. He goes, did it look real? I said, yeah.
It was real.
You're going to jail.
Yeah.
You've probably just murdered this guy.
Yeah, act bad.
He goes, well, we got to. I said, no, we don't have to do anything. Hoda's left because he don't want to catch charges. And the two boys are over there traumatized.
Crack the guy's skull.
Oh, my goodness.
So I get Bickley around the corner, and then they sent JFRD out there to check this guy out. Because I'm telling y'all. He split. How he didn't kill him?
Yeah.
Because he hit him with the side of the chair.
How long ago was it? How many years ago was it?
20?
It's just 20. So it's 20 years.
It'd have to be, yeah. I think Box Eats is now a pawn shop now.
Something like that.
So...
But that's how they did things over there.
Yeah.
It was
realistic.
It was pretty unpredictable. Yeah. It was and anything could go over there.
And it did.
And that's the kind of shit that you'd get the fire department when they talk about going to calls. The fire department, the police department, you'd show up and it'd be that. And you'd go, how did this even happen? And how am I going to put these pieces back together?
And they put the guy in that handicapped bathroom in the back that nobody could get into. They JFRD sent two, I think there were probably two young ladies and a guy. The guy was about 75 years old with JFRD, and the two young ladies were tiny. And she come up to me. She said, Scab. I said, yeah. She said, how in the hell are we supposed to get him out of there? I said, I don't know how they got him in. I don't know what we had to get a gurney and get a crew of guys together to get the guy, and he was okay.
Yeah.
But that was Scotty's last time. Oh,
yeah.
Bubba. He I'm telling y'all, there's a picture somewhere. If I can find it, I'll send it to you.
I'd love to see it.
With the
He
airborne,
hit him full tilt. Full tilt. But that was box seats. I'll tell you who used to get mad coming up there is Andre.
Oh, yeah, it was all of us. Oh, Andre, me. I didn't get so mad so often. We'll tell that in the next story, in the next break. But yeah, there was times that I'd go, I'd hear it go out and I'd go, sons of a bitch, was that Scab or Dale King or Matthew or Corey or who was it? How did this start today? Because it would be some 88, which is a battery, or a 61P, which is a fight in progress, and you're like, what? Then you go up and nobody saw shit. Parking lots are empty.
Is that one of the calls you
asking? And they would know it was me.
Is that one of the calls you like?
Scab, was this so?
You need to ride over on.
Fucking lying to me. Son, I'm telling you, it was so bad. One night, there was a guy out there running his mouth. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but he was up there with some other girls, and it was Scab and Dale King, and there was some jawing back and forth, and I'm in uniform, and I'm like, look.
Are you on duty? You working off duty?
Yes, I'm on duty. I'm a lieutenant.
Oh, you're like HQ. I need to take this call.
Buddy, you need to go on, and they're telling me, Larry, you need to go. I said, First of all, you can't tell me that I need to go anywhere. Second of all, we're not going to have a problem up here because I knew, Jim, if I left right then, it was going to
going to be on.
And then I'd hear a radio call 2 minutes later and have to go back.
Right.
And who would get blamed for it?
Right, you.
100%.
That's right.
When it happened, I left, and I thought the guy was with some girls, whatever. I thought they were leaving. I thought it was all good. I said, all right, I'm going to go to the station because, substation was right down the road from there. So I leave, and sure enough, I get called. And who does the guy complain on? That officer knew that those guys were going to jump on me, and he left anyway. I'm like, I literally cannot babysit grown men all night long. I just can't do that. But we're going to take a break with that one, and we'll have another story time after this. So that's a good one.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. That was Real Jacks with Jim, Larry, Crawfish, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.